tantalizing, thoughtful, terrific. I got one more. I know I do. Trustworthy. Taurus. How are you? I hope you're blessed. I am going to pull a energetic reading for, I think it's tomorrow, the next day in some places, but the super new moon in Gemini. It's a super moon because it's the closest point to Earth, which makes it the strongest, hold on, new moon of the year. And it's in Gemini, so it's all about communication. So if there's anything in your life that you're battling or you can't seem to resolve or frustrated or anything like that, try communicating. Sounds simple, but sometimes we forget to do it. Whether it's a text message, a conversation, a note, a call, a tarot reading, anything, communicating. So with that being said, I decided to pull from 3 decks because the more communication, the more clarity. And the super new moon in Gemini is not like the full moon or other new moons. We're not releasing or manifesting or any of that. I mean, if you want to, go for it, but not about intentions. It's about, I've been using the analogy pruning what doesn't serve you. So like a plant, you cut away all the dead so that it can bloom and grow bigger and more beautiful and more bountiful and whatnot. So this new moon's asking you what needs pruning. What do you need to trim out? It doesn't mean the whole thing. You're not cutting off the whole plant and throwing it away. So you're not cutting this completely out. It's something that you just need to trim, reassess, cut away what isn't serving you, keep what is, and keep it pushing. Because that's how you personally will bloom and grow on every level. And with that being said, I pulled one fairy guidance card as what you should reflect on for the month. And for you, Taurus, it came up as healing. A healthy body thrives with a constant flow of balanced energy. So, you know, that could just be you getting healthier. That could be you maybe went through something, you know, accident or surgery or I don't know, and you're healing from that. Or maybe you are through a breakup and your heart's healing from that. What have you. What you need to remember and reflect on when you can is healing. A healthy body thrives with a constant flow of balanced energy. Okay, so, and then I pulled the new moon reading from the Moonology Oracle deck, and that's just a simple 3-card layout, and it's saying what's rising up in you, Taurus, and what's rising up in you is you asking yourself what you need to release. So you're just starting to maybe find yourself wondering what isn't, you know, serving you anymore. You've already probably been on that thought process, even though that's what this, you know, it's not about releasing for the new moon, but for you, it's bringing up thoughts of what isn't serving you, what needs pruning. Okay. And the main message from the moon is not even going to let you guess. It's telling you it's time to release negativity. So lucky you, Taurus, because everyone else has to like figure out what it is that matches what the cards are saying. You know, yours is telling you. You've been thinking, what do I need to release? Well, moon's here to tell you, negativity. Okay. I don't know. Maybe you are negative. Maybe you're looking at something negative. Maybe you are seeing your cup half empty instead of half full. Maybe you're, you know, complaining about this, that, or the other. Let all that crap go and see the glass is half full. See the beauty in the rain. See that tears water the seeds of joy. Because your outcome will then be reached as a personal issue reaches resolution. So awesome. Okay. That's according to the Moonology. Now, in your tarot reading, I pull 4 cards, and what's being illuminated to you is the 5 of Swords. So there's some sort of, I don't know whether it's a defeat, a loss, something where you could have found out the truth of something that hurt, felt like, losing a battle or something of that nature. Or someone said something to you that hurt at the core, and it could be physical, it could be mental, it could be a million different things, but it's the moon's illuminating something that made you feel defeated. It could be, oh gosh, I can't even think of a clever example. So whatever that is for you, you think of it. And moving on to what needs to be pruned in your life. Well, that came up as the Page of Wands. And the Page of Wands is, I don't know necessarily if it's what needs to be pruned, because the Page of Wands is a beautiful energy. It's a very, passionate, lot of ideas, a lot of it's a lot of ideas, a lot of energy, a lot of passion. And that's it. Okay. That's where it ends. Like, it's all the, it's all the idea phase and none of the do phase. Okay. So I think what it's asking you to trim is enough ideas. Let's do enough brainstorming, enough dreaming, enough, I could do this, or I could do that, or I could love it. But the time for, creating the idea is over. Cut that. And I think that because of what your soul needs came up as the Queen of Swords, and she is very, she, doesn't matter, is energy. Very structured, logical, knows what she wants and goes for it. And so the fact that that's what your spirit needs is why I think what you need to cut is the passionate big idea stage and get to, okay, let's do something. Let's take a structured approach. Let's take these dreams and passions and fantasies and ideas, and let's make them concrete. Let's bring them to reality, to life, because the swords is also the suit of like communication. Again, clear communication. The Queen of Swords, she doesn't like sugarcoat. She doesn't, play with words. She doesn't put a mask on. She doesn't, she doesn't, what you see is what you get. What she says is what she means. There's no room for misunderstanding, because she is exactly what she says. She does what she means what she says, blah, 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 the whole deal. And that's what your spirit needs to blossom. So I think it's saying cut the idea mode. Let's move into action mode. Okay. And then your outcome will be the 5 of Wands. So your outcome's, a win, because it's passionate, it's energy, it's healthy competition. It's, you are just as capable or deserving of a win as anybody else. Therefore, go for it. And you will reach the top. Can you see that? So go for it. because you are competition. Others should look at you and go, you know, whoa,